Here's something strange. The average person now spends more waking hours looking at a screen than they spend asleep. Somewhere inside that exact same pile of hours, other people are quietly building six-figure incomes. Same screen, same 24 hours in the day, completely different outcome. So what is actually different between the two? It's not talent, it's not luck. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what it is, because the answer is almost embarrassingly simple, and almost nobody talks about it. Let's start with the number that should honestly stop you for a second. Adults today spend somewhere around 7 hours a day on screens. That's not a typo. 7 hours. Add it up over a week, and you're at roughly 49 hours. For context, a full-time job is 40 hours a week. You are, statistically speaking, already working a job. It's just a job that pays you in dopamine instead of dollars. Now here's where it gets interesting. That same block of time, scrolling, watching, tapping, refreshing, is sitting directly on top of an industry worth around $250 billion. Not million, billion. And it's not some sleepy, mature industry either. It's growing at something like 23% a year, which is a growth rate most entire countries would trade their economy for. People are being paid right now to do the exact same things you're doing for free. Watching videos, posting opinions, reviewing products, explaining things they know. The infrastructure to get paid for your attention already exists. It's sitting on the same phone that's sitting in your hand right now. So if the opportunity is that big, and the hours are already being spent, why isn't everyone rich? Here's the uncomfortable part. Only about 14% of adults actually earn any money at all from content or creator work. Not 14% get rich, 14% earn anything. The other 86% are putting in the exact same screen time and walking away with $0. And even inside that 14%, the money is brutally lopsided. Only around 4% of creators globally ever cross $100,000 a year. So no, this isn't a story about everyone secretly getting rich off their phone while you don't. Most people who try still don't make real money, which actually makes the question more interesting, not less. Because if trying isn't enough, what is? Let's walk through how this actually plays out, because numbers alone don't tell the whole story. Say you spend about the same 7 hours a day on your phone as everyone else. Some scrolling, some gaming, some watching other people talk about stuff you're mildly interested in. One day you think, why not me? You download an editing app, post a video, and wait. Nothing happens. You post again. Still nothing. Yet you still post and continue doing so. This is normal, by the way. Creators take an average of about 6.5 months just to earn their first dollar. 6.5 months of effort before the very first cent shows up. Most people quit somewhere in month 2, convinced the whole thing is rigged or fake. You almost quit too. Here's the part that actually separates the outcomes, though. Most people post on one platform, chase one type of content, and hope one video blows up. That's the trap almost everyone falls into, because it's the version of content creation that gets shown in headlines. Overnight virality, one lucky post, Mr. Beast-style windfalls. But that's not how the 14% actually operate. The people making real, sustainable money aren't betting on a single lucky video. They're stacking multiple income streams on purpose. Creators earning 6 figures typically have 5 or more separate revenue sources running at once. Ad revenue, sponsorships, affiliate links, digital products, memberships. Creators clearing over $150,000 a year? 7 or more income streams. This isn't luck stacking on luck. It's treating content like a small business with multiple product lines instead of a lottery ticket with one number. And platform choice matters more than people admit. Not every hour of screen time is worth the same amount once you flip from consuming to creating. YouTube's ad payouts, for example, can run anywhere from around $1 to nearly $30 per 1,000 views, depending on the topic. And specifically, personal finance and money-related content tends to sit near the top of that range, often north of $12 per 1,000 views. Compare that to some short-form platforms paying closer to a few cents per thousand views on their creator funds, and you start to see why two people can post the same amount of content and end up on completely different financial planets. It was never just about showing up. It was about showing up on the platform, and with the format that actually converts attention into income. There's also a myth sitting underneath all of this that's worth killing before we go any further. The idea that the people making money online are somehow the most talented, the funniest, the most naturally gifted on camera. That's not really what the data shows. Talent helps, sure, but it's not the deciding factor. The deciding factor looks a lot more boring than that. It's consistency. Roughly 70% of creators spend 10 hours or less a week actually creating, which means the difference between someone earning nothing and someone earning real money usually isn't a talent gap, it's a persistence gap. The 86% making $0 aren't necessarily less skilled than the 14% making something. A lot of them just stopped one platform algorithm update, one slow month, or one disappointing video too early. And this is where the AI conversation actually becomes relevant, not as a gimmick, but as a genuine shift in who can compete. A few years ago, creating anything decent meant owning a camera, knowing how to edit, and being comfortable on screen. That filtered out a huge percentage of people before they even started. Now, close to 9 in 10 active creators are using AI tools somewhere in their process, for editing, for scripting, for voiceover, for research. The barrier that used to separate people who could technically produce content from everyone else has mostly collapsed. Which means the 7 hours a day people already spend consuming are now genuinely convertible into producing, without needing a film degree to do it. The tools caught up to the opportunity. Most people just haven't caught up to the tools. So, somewhere around month 5, instead of gambling on one big viral swing, here's what actually changes things. You pick one platform where the payout per view is actually worth chasing. You add a second income stream, a simple digital guide related to the content, sold for $20. And you keep showing up on a schedule instead of waiting for inspiration. None of this is exciting. None of it goes viral on its own. But 6 months later, you've got 3 small income streams instead of 0, and the 7 hours a day finally start pointing somewhere. That's the answer to the question from the beginning. The 7 hours were never the problem. Almost everyone already has them. The problem is that most people spend those hours purely as a consumer, on platforms optimized to keep them scrolling, not earning, while a small percentage flip the exact same hours into the producer side of the equation, on platforms that actually pay, stacked across more than one income stream, given enough time to compound instead of quitting after week 3. You are, in a very literal sense, already clocking in for a 49-hour work week. The only real question left is, who's cashing the paycheck, the platform, or you? If any part of this made you pause and think about your own screen time, that's honestly the entire point of the video. The math was never the hard part. The follow-through is. If this shifted how you think about your own hours, hit subscribe. This channel is where we turn stuff like this into an actual plan, not just an interesting fact you forget by tomorrow.